Hello, welcome to Madame After Midnight. This is a podcast where we talk about life and its many pursuits of sustainable happiness. I'm your host, Madame Donut. Now, you know I like to talk about things that make me hungry and horny. Tonight's episode might not have anything to do with that, but let me just tell you that last week I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts, The Huberman Lab, and I might fuck this up, but he was talking about nicotinic receptors. Again, this has nothing to do with our podcast tonight, but I just want to share one of my discoveries and a scientific proof why I cannot tell the difference when I'm hungry or horny. Because apparently there are these nicotinic receptors, right? Okay, I don't smoke cigarettes, but supposedly when you smoke, nicotine attaches to these receptors and your appetite is suppressed. Now, because I don't smoke cigarettes, my appetite's not suppressed. And apparently, there's like genetic factors as well that basically predispose you to wanting to open your mouth to eat, to chew, or put something in your mouth. So anyways, I'm gonna end it there, but that's where that's proof to you that I cannot tell the difference whether or not I'm hungry or horny or both. Anyways, now let's get to tonight's show. My guest is a friend of mine, actually. I consider her a good friend because she saved my life about 2.5 years ago. At the onset of the pandemic, we all had to pivot, right? So I needed to start an online store, and I was literally crying. I posted a picture of myself crying, and this beautiful human being reached out to me, and she said, "Let me help you." And so anyways, my guest tonight is an entrepreneur who specializes in website design, marketing, and technical support. That's what she's been to me. She's helped me so much in managing donutdynamite.com. Please, everybody, welcome my guest, Adelle Brianne. Fun when you said, like, hey, what's this podcast like? I was like, we're just gonna hang out the way we normally do when we see each other. So how have you been?
I've been really good. Life's been quite busy. I've got a puppy that I'm having lots of fun with. He's 10 months old, and
seeing some of the photo shoots with the new puppy.
He's my first dog of my life, so I'm learning all the things.
First dog?
Yes, I've never had a dog before.
Really?
Yeah, never.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I grew up with dogs. I mean, I don't have one now because where I'm at, where I live, I'm not supposed to. And right now it's so hard to find a place. So it's kind of one of those like.
Yeah.
I need to find a farm where I can live and have a crazy dog running around and a bunch of goats and chickens and geese.
I'm into that.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. So, but anyways, you have been really busy with your business. I can't really call it a new business, right? Because it's been something that you've been doing. It's morphing. Yeah,
the evolution.
Yes, which I love that. As you know, you've also been working with me, so you've seen me morph slowly and keep morphing. So, what's new with you? You basically, did you change your business name to Amazing and Helpful?
That's the website.
That's
kind of like the brand of the website, and the service delivery is Amazing and Helpful.
Amazing and Helpful.
I love helping people. And so the website's Amazing and Helpful. And so actually right before the pandemic started, I actually incorporated and went into just forming an LLC. So I'd been in business for many years and then just officially formed the LLC so I could get like all the bank stuff, all cleaned up and all that good stuff.
Yeah, make it like an adult.
It's kind of like when you grow up and you're like, oh, I really want to get serious about my business and taxes.
Yeah. So I started Donut Dynamite at the swap meet, and I remember thinking my business, I didn't really have a business plan. The business plan was basically like a lemonade stand. You make your lemonade, you sell it, and then you go home. And then apparently, I had to grow with it, and I had to start learning more stuff.
Totally.
So, actually, I met you prior, but around the time that we finally kind of got to know each other more was in the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talk about morphing, right? I had, my donut shop was open 6 days a week, plus I had accounts, so I actually basically made donuts every single day of my life for the first 5 or 6 years of this business. And then when the pandemic happened, I was like, well, what do we do? And obviously we shut down, and then to reopen, I thought, let's try it out like 1 day a week.
Yeah.
And I thought,
scale down.
yeah, scale down. And the best way for me to make that happen is if the donuts were prepaid prior. So I was like, oh my God, how do I do this
How do we do
online
pre-ordering?
thing?
Yep.
And I tried doing it myself, and I cried. So, and then you reached out to me, and you basically made a website for me. Like in a week or so, you made it a workable website.
We made it really, really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was amazing because, that's a lot. I mean, I'm just imagining, I don't know anything about building a website, but that was a lot. So thank you so much.
Yeah. So that's one of the incredible things is I started building websites when I was 16 years old, and I just tapped into 40. So I've been doing it for so long that I'm really, really fast. I'm very efficient. I really know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So once I have a good sense of what the client needs, I can execute pretty quickly. And for you, you really didn't need that fast turnaround, which was kind of exciting.
Okay,
So,
good.
I really actually work well under pressure. So
Isn't it funny? Like, I do love that too. Like, I think coming from restaurants, I kind of secretly miss that rush.
Yeah.
Like the ticket rolling in.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you're going to cuss,
The
you're going to
kitchen
fucking hate
energy.
it. Yeah. You're going to hate it the moment, or at least you act like you do, because you're going to be like, fuck this, blah, 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 and you're throwing stuff around. But I think it's just an excuse to, like, emote. And then the truth is, we look for it. It's kind of a way to, like, push you to.
it's motivating.
Yeah, it's to be motivated. I love that adrenaline. I really do. I think it's a drug, So anything that keeps you like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna make this happen, or like, it's so much fun.
Yeah,
So.
and actually, just to speak to that, so for me, you were a client that was like a fuck yes for me because I loved your business and I loved what you did, and I loved that you were this incredible, strong female character that was really creative, and I loved your hair color and all your just your creativity really spoke to me. And so when I thought about helping you, I just was so excited, and in a sense, I really kind of went after you. I was like, hey, I really, really want to help you. I really, really want to support your business. I think that we got to get these donuts back out there.
Yes, thank you so much. And yes, I do, guys. I do see Adele, and she works with me and helps me make this happen because I'm still a small business, so I can't really afford like the huge, like really, really fancy stuff there. But she makes it so it's simple for me to kind of manage at this point
independently.
And then I do call you for random stuff like, this extra button is for, or whatever.
I can be the tech angel. So, and then those moments where you got to hit the emergency button, I'm who it calls. When you hit the emergency button, it calls me.
Yeah, so I actually do want to talk about that because for somebody like me who's not very tech savvy, it's really daunting. To be doing anything technical. Even like with the YouTube thing, I'm just learning more about it, and it's like, oh my God, there's so much going
your
on.
Setup's amazing.
Thank you. But I do love how you're so human, as in obviously touching you. She's human. She's not a robot. But the fact that I could reach out to you and make it a personalized service. That is really one thing that I appreciate. So I was asking you earlier, with this kind of business, you can do it anywhere.
Yep.
But you moved to Maui when, and why do you decide to stay on Maui and be in a tech world? I feel like Maui doesn't really have a huge tech industry.
We don't have it. It's actually pretty small. Like the other tech people that we hang out with, we have a little community here.
Yeah.
So I moved here when I was 25 years old, and my mom had a good friend who lived here. She was a nurse up at the Cool Hospital who'd been here a long time. So I had kind of like one person that we knew. And I had been drawing pictures my whole life of islands, excuse me, and kind of like psychically or even intuitively, like I always wanted to live like maybe on an island. I just kept drawing these pictures over and over and over again of islands. And when I first came to visit Maui, I expected to have like a tourist experience, but I had a very spiritual experience actually. I met these like shaman people, and I got smudged, and they were saging me and talking about all this really interesting spiritual stuff. And it rained the whole time, so I didn't really have it all like the tropical Maui experience. And so that really set the tone for me of just feeling like Maui felt really special and sort of kind of called me in a way.
Yeah.
So I moved here at 25 and honestly didn't really know anyone. And I just kind of just jumped in, and the woman I did know, she helped me get set up with a car, and I just put it out there and looked for a job. I got a job. I started working for some architects in Paia.
Yeah.
I worked part-time and got a roommate and just sort of started my adventure.
But even then, were you in the tech
Yes,
world,
I
right?
was. I
Been-
was freelancing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just back then, you know, at 25, I think I didn't take it as seriously. I was kind of more like, oh, I'm in Maui, you know.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, I worked for an agency, and for the architects, I was doing websites for them, and yeah, I was just kind of a bit of a dreamer.
Yeah.
And once I got here, I just started finding clients and working for people and building my little business up, and it's been a slow evolution.
You know, I find you so, because you're a creative outside of the tech, you know, the techie thing that you do. You do your own tie dye.
I do. I'm wearing a tie-dye made.
And you actually have another company that's
Yep.
like a lot of fun. You do shows and you have like talk about dress ups, which I love. I kind of
Yes.
even like want to work for you for that reason.
And you should.
Like part time, you know, just to dress up. You basically not host parties, but you
Yeah, I provide entertainment and strolling characters. So here on Maui, there's so many resorts and weddings. There's all types of entertainment needed at parties all the time. And like a dozen of my best friends were freelancing, and it doesn't make sense for them all to do marketing and have websites when I'm basically this marketing maven and I could do all the marketing for everyone.
Yeah.
So I built Dazzle Entertainment, and 100% of all of my business comes from my website. Like SEO actually
Wow.
works. So all
Wow.
the income comes from the website, all the leads come from the website, and so now I actually get to pay my friends very well
Yeah.
to do what they do. So they're stilt walkers and fire spinners
Yeah.
and aerialists.
I saw.
I'm actually Santa Claus's agent. I book the Santa Claus
Oh
on
my
the island.
God.
So we're getting really busy right now, getting ready for Christmas. I'm also a professional elf. I do elfing.
Ah,
I get to dress.
And sorry, I'm
Yeah, go
gonna
ahead.
just because I get
Do
so
it.
excited
Do
about
it.
that. I worked at Santaland at Macy's and I was an elf.
Yes,
so
and it's
I'm just saying.
The spirit
I'm
of
the
elfing
natural.
is pretty amazing, actually.
Yeah, I love it being an
It's
elf.
really fun.
I love. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. So,
anyways. So
and,
yeah.
and so that actually was sort of I'm a retired body paint actress, and I love costumes, and I love being a character actress. So a few years ago, I decided to just create this company because I think I said in my bio, like I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur, which I know you relate to. Like we
Yes.
love doing so many things. We
different
want to do
things,
all
yeah.
the things.
Yes. Yes.
It's also hard sometimes to like bring it down, and we're like, we have so many ideas.
Yeah,
Like you have to like actually put a stop on all your ideas.
Oh my God, I get told
we
that
can't
all
do
the
them
time.
all, right?
Yeah, I get told that all the time. Like, okay, calm down. Like, don't do everything. And then of course I fight them because I'm like, this is who I am. And so like, you know,
And we
people
feel
are-
called. We're like,
Right.
no, but I need to bring this to life.
Exactly. So I keep getting told by so many people like stop that, or at least like put a pause on this one thing and focus on this,
Focus.
and then so
Yeah.
that is well, what can I do? That's just what we are, and it's so much more fun. It's much more challenging, and just it's like I said, it's kind of a drug because we get so excited about
Yes.
it. But you mentioned something about how all of your business for Dazzle comes from your website.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about SEO and marketing the website because I think that there's a good amount of website building kits out there, you know. So
Yeah.
how is that going to differentiate your services and how like the SEO can help people's businesses and grow it?
Yeah. So it's kind of like on my own case study. So I built the website, and every time I had an event, I'd put up a little blog post where I share pictures and just describe the event and use some keywords talking about those services that were booked. So then over the course of the last 4 or 5 years, I put a blog post out, I mean, not even every month, but you know, pretty frequently throughout the year. And so now I've got like 4 or 5 years worth of content that's all related to these keywords and these services. So when my customers go into Google and they type, you know, Maui Fire Spinner or Maui Aerialist or Maui Princess Parties or Maui Wedding Entertainment, all those types of keywords, I just come up right at the top because over the years I've been putting out that content. And so, you know, Google just understands keywords and content. So if you keep giving Google content that relates to what you're offering, Google knows how to match you up to those customers. And it really does work.
So that means do you constantly putting up new content? Not necessarily.
Not really. The consistency over time is really what works. So I started the website in 2017, and now we're at 2022. And even, I would say, so in the pandemic, we completely shut down, didn't work for 2 years, which was a nightmare. And so in those 2 years, I didn't have any blogs because I didn't have any events. So really the first 3 years of the blogging really was the heavy hitting. And I would say I did it maybe like once a month. So not that consistent. And depending on your industry, how competitive is, we'll have different strategies for kind of like how we're bringing in traffic. But what's amazing is that every single person types in a slightly different way, like with the keywords they're searching for. So even if you think you need to win for this keyword, I guarantee you there's like 3 dozen other keywords that you can win for that are going to bring you customers.
So blogging, do you suggest that people blog in their own websites? I do. One thing one of the number one mistakes I see people make is that they spend all this time on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or YouTube, which is great. I recommend spending time there as well, but they do that while they neglect their website. The website doesn't get anything fresh. The website doesn't get any blogs, any content, any updates. It's like the neglected child. And that's the one you spent money on and that you own, and that's your own real estate. So instead of spending time every day on Instagram, spend a little bit of time every day on your website, because the more powerful you make your website, and that's what you own, that's your traffic that can't get hacked or taken away, and you're not competing with everyone else. When they land at your website, your customers are only engaging with you. On Instagram or TikTok, they're engaging with millions of other people, including your competitors. So it's really, really important that you're nurturing that real estate that you own as your website. That's so cool. I mean, like I said, you've managed my website, but I don't really do anything other than change the menu every week and engaging with your followers, whether it be for your website, I don't know if you'd call them that, but people who actually check your website out. And that's so interesting that you bring that up, because there was a time when I felt like, or I think most people thought that websites were dead. You know what I mean? Because
it's kind of an opinion. Some people believe that. Some people will tell you the opposite of what I say. Some people will say, don't get a website. Don't waste your time and money on a website. You don't need a website. And maybe you don't need a website, but you still need somewhere to do your marketing. And again, if you choose to do your marketing on a place that someone else owns and controls completely, there's some factors that are going to affect your business that just inevitably happen. I mean, 2 or 3 of my clients got hacked on Instagram. They lost their whole entire audiences. And it's true that some people say, well, your website can get hacked, except my websites don't get hacked, because I've been doing this for 24 years, and so I have very secure websites that just don't get hacked. They just don't get hacked. And worst case scenario, your company just fixes it instantaneously, and you don't pay extra. Yay.
Yeah. Speaking of getting hacked, you actually dealt with this with my Facebook account. My Facebook account was hacked, and now I couldn't.
And then you can't run ads.
Yeah, I can't run ads forever and ever.
And you have to jump through all these hoops, or change your profile, or pay some expert some crazy amount of money for them to fix it, because they're in with the Facebook gods or something.
Yeah, and right now I'm pretty much gonna give up on that. That's why I'm not even on Facebook, guys. If you're trying to communicate with me through Facebook, I don't even go on it.
It's a dead zone.
For donor time, because I went through hell. Well, actually, Adele went through hell trying to figure that thing out, because that was just kind of like I said, a dead zone. So, so interesting. But with your services now, so you do the website design, and you can help manage that, but you also teach. You have some courses now, right?
Yeah. So I realized after doing this for 24 years, I've got so much knowledge up here, and I really wanted to be able to help more people. And also there's sort of this idea that, there's different price points. Like, someone comes in and they have a bunch of money to spend on a website. Someone else comes in and they still need a website, but they have a smaller budget, right?
Yeah.
And just as valid, right? I want to serve both clients. So ultimately, the smaller budget person can basically, if they're motivated, if they're feeling have a little bit of tech savviness, you can learn to do it yourself, right? And so what I like to do is say to people is, if you have any interest in building your own website, you can check out my course, do it yourself. I walk you through every single step. I help you avoid all the challenges and pitfalls. And then also I have these like writing prompts to help you with your content and your copy. It's very strategic. So like I really want to support everything about it so you can launch a really powerful website that you love. That's what I like to say is like you should love your website.
Yeah.
Like love your website.
Yeah.
If you don't love your website, please call me so that we can help you fall in love with your website.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And then, so you have these classes. Like I saw that you have your courses for like WordPress and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
And
based
you
on
can manage
WordPress.
business.
Yeah.
And then outside of websites, what else are you able to help your clientele with?
Yeah, so I'm really at this point kind of like I almost don't even say no to anything. Like I'm such a like yes person that like I'm not a video editor, but sometimes I edit videos.
Yeah.
And like I do email marketing for folks. I do social media management. I do websites. What I'm actually really looking forward to in this kind of next year coming up is doing what I really am finding people need is they need that management, but everyone really just wants more clients. Everyone needs more income, right? So it's really all about like attracting clients and getting to know your clients better and then basically building you that website, doing some blogging, and then using your social media to also attract clients to your website. So I'm kind of creating this package now where people can get the website with the email marketing and the social media all together, and I'll manage everything. I'm calling it effortless marketing.
Oh, like it.
Basically, my clients are so busy running their business. You're so busy being an amazing baker and chef that like you, and it's great that you have an interesting technology, but ultimately it's going to drive you crazy to have to do everything, right?
Yeah.
So if you could just say, send me a photo or send me a little update or send me a thing, and then I just take care of it all and it just distributes out, and then you get new clients and new customers and everyone's excited and you're just like, wow, I didn't even do anything. I just sent her a picture and my marketing's done.
Yeah. And then you can also run their email marketing, which is like, I have not actually delved into that, but like everyone's telling me like, oh, you should have like an email list.
Basically email marketing is what they say has really incredible return on investment. So you can either, I mean, some of it's basically free or very low cost, and then the result is that you send out your little email with a coupon or something, and then people come in and they buy from you. Yeah. So if you're on any email list of any of your favorite brands where you get a coupon and then you immediately buy, you know that it works. Yeah. Right? So that's the idea, is that you know that it works. And then your loyal clients who love you, who always buy, who always share, they'll share and they'll share their coupons and use your coupons. So you know, for retail shops, coupons work really well. Yeah. You know, for some of the like services, they have different ways of like kind of growing the email lists and stuff.
So you can basically put together like a program or a marketing plan for everybody who wants like a little bit of website, a little bit of email marketing, and integrating it with their social media.
Yeah, because that seems to be what really is the most powerful. Is you have a website, you're doing some blogging, or I'm doing your blogging for you. Then we've got your social media, and then you've got your email marketing. Between those three things, people jam. They get tons of business. It works really well.
It's so interesting because again, I'm kind as you know, I'm not. I get a headache every time I start. Like, I can do the maximum I do is changing the menu. But that's that. I'm like
But here's the other thing too, is a lot of times people don't start doing marketing until they get a dip, or they really are feeling like, wow, like where are my customers, or my sales are low, or something's going on, I need a change. A lot of people just don't do marketing. It's similar to like when you're in a marriage and like you have to go to marriage counseling and it's already too late. It's kind of like that, where it's like you actually do want to nurture your marketing somewhat consistently, but I say to people, don't get overwhelmed. Like if you're feeling like I need to be doing TikToks and I need to be on Instagram and I need to be doing, you don't need to do all the things. Like I would actually recommend most people just pick one thing, and even just starting with your website and your blog and making that strong first before you start driving traffic there from your social media and your email marketing, that makes sense because you're going to send traffic there. So if you send traffic to a website that's funky or doesn't have clear calls to action or isn't mobile responsive or just isn't really great yet, you're wasting sending that traffic. So what's the point of being on Instagram sending all this traffic to a website that's not converting into customers? So you really want to make sure that that's like your solid, you know, like that this is like, I call it like your VIP party. Like invite people to hang out. Like make your website a place people want to come to and hang out. So whether that's instructional videos that are really fun and entertaining, or that's a blog that's actually helpful people and guides them and gives them information. You know, it's fun and humorous. You know, it's like the idea now is being both informational and entertaining,
Right.
Which you totally nail.
I feel like that's my specialty. We were just talking about that. We're like, I'm full of clickbaits, girl, but I'm gonna. I still want to use the platform that we have to have good content. I hope, and I think I like to educate a bit without being scoldy because I like to entertain.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is, I think if you can grab people's attention and then retain them by giving them something that they might actually want or find useful, that's the idea, right? So that's, I mean, again, with everything, even with your web design, if you can, create that effect.
Yeah. So for you, we haven't done a lot of blogging or web stuff for you, but for you, the simplest thing would be to just even like hosting your podcast videos on the website or hosting some of your little videos. And so it's like the work's already done. All we have to do is just add a little video and make a post, and that doesn't take long. So that's little things too where I could be like, oh, well, what content are you already creating? You don't have to do any more work. Let me just do it for you.
Well, so that's actually where I'm at now too, because again, pivot. Life is a dance. I think I'm pivoting a little bit of cha-cha, a little bit of like kick here and there. I was like, I pivot all the time.
Yes.
So I feel like Donut Dynamite, I'm kind of stabilizing that, but I also feel that now with everything else that I'm doing, I have madamedonut.com. I don't really do anything with it, and I feel like I basically kept the name, the domain, just so I have it. But I think it's something that I want to eventually grow because now that I'm doing things outside of just the donuts, I can really expand on that page. But I'm still trying to figure that thing out. But like you said, it is probably something like, well, since I got you here, like your advice is that just expand that blogging and then adding on.
And just I like the idea of just keeping it simple. So if you're already creating this content, so we just take stuff you're already creating, or like every time you do a photo shoot, you just share that with your marketing person. You just give them some fresh photos.
Oh my God, I do a lot of photos.
Because that's one thing is you actually create so much content. A lot of businesses, their struggle is they don't have photos, they don't have content, they don't have updates, they don't have anything to give me, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I want to create this new thing where it's effortless marketing, and I'm really dialing in with people. So I'm saying, okay, well, do you teach students? Do you like what is it that like what tangible stuff that we can create? And I'm going to interview people and say, well, do you like talking more? Do you like writing more? Do you like being on camera? Or do you like none of that, right?
Yeah.
Because then I can kind of guide people. Because if someone is naturally on their iPhone just taking pictures all day long, I can probably get them to send me some photos. Or like if someone naturally is very chatty, I can probably get them to do some audio. Or if someone's like doing video, I'm like, just start doing a few little videos for your business and just guiding them to something that's already comfortable and accessible, rather than feeling like one of my clients is like, oh, I know I have to get on TikTok, and she's just drained by that. And she's like, I know it'd be so good for my business, but she doesn't want to start. And I'm like, well, there's even some intuition there that you feel pressured, but you don't want to. I was like, listen to that. If you don't want to, don't do it.
Right? I have a TikTok account. I haven't actually put anything. I have like 3 posts on there, which is crazy because I am naturally like I like to be on video.
So my other business, Dazzle, would be perfect for TikTok. Wigs, costumes.
Oh my gosh.
And yet still I'm not doing it. And that's what I say to people is I was like, sometimes you just gotta like lean into what you feel like you want to do, especially as we get older in our businesses and we're not so fresh and so young that we want to do all the things, and we're like, you got to really go with what you have passion for and you're excited for. So like you've been doing the podcasting, you have a passion for this.
I'm loving this.
This is so great that you leaned into this, because this is so much, I mean, this is so beyond making donuts. This is, I mean, I'm so seriously so impressed by your tech.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I have no idea what
you guys
I'm doing.
can't see it all, but we are all lit up with these incredible lights. We got multiple cameras. We got these incredible mics. It's amazing in here. As the tech person, I am blown away.
Thank you. It's so funny. Well, I do have to give my friend Brad a shout out because I told him I wanted to do a podcast. And of course, at first, he's like, okay, you need microphones, this and that. And I was like, okay, listen. I'm not your normal.
You're like disco podcast.
I'm not going to be your normal podcaster. I got to have a dance in and this and that. I got to have videos because I wanted to do more like a video podcast.
Yeah, a vlog.
So, and, especially because I'm sure I'm not alone in this, but most people don't like their voice, right? I don't like my speaking voice. So when I think of myself as a podcaster, I'm just like dreading hearing my voice. So I figured I'm a lot more interesting visually because I'm very colorful. So I'll do a video podcast with, of course, the option of just listening to the podcast. But I wanted the video podcast to be out there. Plus, I love this. Like, as you know, I love like dressing up. So this is like a chance to just be extra colorful.
Yeah,
and,
it's
and,
great.
And while talking story.
I love it.
You know, so, and I think it's just much more interesting. And again, I get to show my moves. It's so much more fun. But what we probably already kind of talked about this. But like, if you meet a new person, totally no website, what's one of the first steps to work with them, or at least give them advice on how to move forward with their tech world?
Yeah, so if it's a business owner and they don't have a website yet, but maybe they want a website, I've got some freebies they can get started with. I've got like this checklist that kind of gives you strategy on just like basically if you have no idea at all what to do, you can just go through the checklist. And I've been doing this 24 years, so I have a pretty good idea of what the basics are. So you can get the checklist for free at my website. I've got that. I've got a little planner I've been putting together. It's like a 40-page planner that's more strategy. That's actually going to be released in a couple days, and it's like $7. It's like super cheap. It's like it's like 2 lattes, the cost of 2 lattes to get the planner. So that's that. And then what I really love doing is website makeovers. So I really love taking the existing website and then basically just totally like overhauling it to a fresh, new, fabulous face that basically is really designed to attract those customers and then convert them into clients, you know, and to really attract the right clients, not like those annoying clients, but like your best clients, your clients that become your besties and that, you know, are your loyal fans and really love you, because that's also kind of the power of the search engine marketing is people are searching very specifically for what they want, you know, this service or to solve a problem. So when they land at your website from a search query and you offer exactly what they're looking for, it's a good chance they're going to be a really good client.
Yeah. And I guess just the fact that they're even going to your own website versus just scrolling through
like
social
you
media.
throwing, you know, marketing all over the internet versus someone came to you laser focused wanting what you offer.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of a no-brainer.
That is actually, that's an eye-opener for me, because I feel like I'm most active on Instagram. That's where I'm most comfortable.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, I should be more strategic about it, but I just post whatever I want.
Yeah.
But I find that that's part of the charm of my page. However, I do need to adult up and and you know, be more strategic in reaching customers, because like you said, sometimes we don't do any marketing until we're like, oh gosh, it's so slow, what the fuck, we gotta start promoting.
And there can be a little lag there where you have low sales and, you know, no one wants that.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, you know, even for you, so a product like a donut, like on a surface level, a donut is just a little thing we eat. But on a deeper, more emotional level, a donut might totally change your mood. You might be feeling really crushed and having a bad day, and then someone surprises you with a donut, dynamite donut. And literally, like, that could truly, I mean, like, think about that. So that's where we actually go, where it's exciting for me to go a little bit deeper, where it's actually, you know, to put up a photo or a video that speaks to that shift you can create with that little donut. Now, that's where the emotional stuff comes into the marketing. So I put up a picture of a donut, but then I do a little storytelling about how this donut totally changed my bestie's mood.
Yeah,
and,
I love that.
So that's where I like to go a little deeper on the storytelling, where it's like, I mean, anyone can do marketing, anyone can help you sell stuff, but what I really love is getting to know you and your products and your clients, and then really doing that storytelling so that your clients are so excited to find you and you're so excited to find your clients, and it's like this match made on the internet.
Oh, I love that. I always thought storytelling is the best way to connect with people, right? And I do a lot of storytelling in my social media, but again, I'm lacking that on my website. So I feel like I do have a madamdonut.com. You can look at it, but there's really not much on it, and you're just inspired me to work on that page, because I think when I was thinking of the website, I was like, I didn't know what to put on it, but you just told me without me having to come up with anything new with what I already have. I have a lot.
Yeah.
I if you follow me on social media, I'm sure you see everything. I do a lot of things. I'm running up and down the mountains. I'm cooking a lot, whether it be donuts or not. I'm always cooking something, and I'm always, I don't know, I always have some kind of a community outreach, or we're promoting other small businesses, and this website, talking to really cool people. It's like I should be sharing that on my website.
Absolutely.
Because that is what I'm about. And yeah, you totally just, that's like my free consult, you guys. I'm just, I feel like I invite people on my website just to kind of like pick their brain. I was like, what
actually brilliant. Invite me on your podcast.
Yeah.
Get a consult.
I get a free
I am
consult
available for other podcasts.
Absolutely. Okay, so is there anything else that you feel that we didn't talk about, because we got to put out what you're going
I think
what you're
the
doing
only
right now.
thing else I would mention is that we didn't talk about is just that there's something so sweet and special about living on this island. That
Yes.
It's kind of like a small community where there's all these really different businesses, and I love how we all love to support each other, right? Like,
Yes.
so for you on your website, you've been selling different jewelry and merchandise, and you've partnered with there's bath salts.
Yeah.
And all these are really incredible things that, again, they you wouldn't think a donut shop website would be selling these other things, but because there's these other artisans in the community that have this similar kind of chemistry and vibe, I love that. So I just want to share it, like just talking about, here in Maui, we just love like supporting each other, and I feel like we're all each other's cheerleaders.
Yes.
And that's probably one of my favorite
100%.
things is living in this island is just the ohana,
Yeah.
and like this, that I really can just excuse me, sit down and just talk story, and it's so comfortable, and it actually is like, I've been such a geek my whole life that actually anyone who's interested in hearing about a web designer and what they do is like, I'm like, does anyone even care? But the way I serve my clients, like I love serving my clients, and learning about their businesses is so interesting and fascinating, and everyone does such different things. So I just feel so grateful, again, to sort of be in this Maui community of such interesting entrepreneurs that I get to support.
Absolutely. And so, like you said, supporting each other and connecting in that way, where you're in a totally different industry and somehow you and I connected, and just by supporting each other. And I think that's just, again, that's so amazing. So thanks for bringing that up, because that's one of the reasons why I did this podcast. And that's why it's been so enriching for me, is that I get the chance, I have an excuse to reach out to people. It's like, let's talk story. Not that we wouldn't any other time, but because it sounds so official, sometimes you actually make it happen, right? Like sometimes I'm like, oh, let's go have a cup of coffee, and we're all so busy, it's so hard to do. But then the podcast somehow makes us feel like, let's do something, I don't know, bigger than having a cup of coffee. And here we are.
And I love it.
And it's so cool, and we're promoting each other. And the past few, this is I think my 26th episode or something like that. I cannot tell you how enriching it has been. Like, so I love it so much. I've met, well, most of my guests I've met at least once or twice, but having them sit here, like, I discover so much. Even just sitting here with you and just you talking like ideas, I was like, holy shit, I didn't even think of that. And instantly I always learn something, whether it be something that's beneficial for me or for other people. It's always a discovery. So thank you so much for sharing your expertise and just being this wonderful female entrepreneur on Maui. That, again, one of the people that I wanted to talk to on the podcast, because I just really like being surrounded by inspiring people who are just go-getters, and we're like, hey, say yes, because we're going to make it happen.
That's
right?
me. Thank goodness our bodies naturally make us sleep, so that we do get to sleep, because I'm the type of person that I would probably just be like on my computer for like 24 hours a day being like, no, I can do more. I can do more. I can do more. I can do more. And then finally, like, sleep, you're like, no, actually I have to rest.
I pass out, basically. That's what happens. That's what sleep is to me. And on the weekends I don't sleep from Friday then to Saturday. And Saturday, it's not like I went to sleep, I pass out. But I don't know, I think I think I need that for some people. Like, what are we called? polymaths.
Oh yeah,
Polymath.
that are like they're super brilliant and can do all the creative.
Well,
things.
I
Those
can't
ones?
say I'm super brilliant, but with many specialties, basically.
Yep.
Because like some people like to specialize, and I think as much as we have strengths, like one or two that